Here he is, Groucho Marx, in You Bet Your Life. Presented by DeSoto and the DeSoto Plymouth Dealers of America.
Dark card for you. It's 58 and style and beauty to captivate. It's delightful, it's lovely, it's DeSoto.
And here he is, the one, the only.
Now, what is the category? Oh, no, you were not one of the contestants. Well, here I am again with a chance for each of our couples to win up to 10,000 smackolas. You know what that is, smackolas?
I believe, yes.
That's a euphemism for money.
Yes.
And if any of them say the secret word, they'll win an extra $100. Okay, Doc. Hasta la vista.
Groucho, I want you to meet Miss Beverly Adlin now.
Mr. Marx, if you don't mind.
All right. Mr. Marx, I want you to meet Miss Beverly Adlin now.
Mr. Groucho Marx.
Mr. Groucho Marx, I want you to meet Miss Beverly...
Just call me Groucho. We know each other.
Grau, I want you to meet Miss Beverly Adlin.
Wow. I suppose next week it'll be G.
Our partner, by the way, is a very special guest. America's beloved baritone, Mr. John Charles Thomas. So, folks, come on, please, and meet Groucho Marx.
Wowee. Well, this is indeed an occasion. Welcome to You Bet Your Life. Say the secret word and divide an extra $100. It's a common word, something you find around the house. Mr. Thomas and Beverly Adlin. I'm glad to see you just one fellow. I thought John Charles Thomas was a trio like the Andrews sisters. Are you really three different fellows?
No, Groucho, I think one's enough.
Oh. I'm sure you'll forgive me if I speak first to your beautiful partner here.
Sorry.
Bev, are you married?
No.
You're not. Why not?
Oh, I'm a teenager and I go to high school.
Oh, well, that's strange. When I was a teenager, I didn't look a thing like you. Are you a local product?
Yes, I was born in the middle of Los Angeles at the Wilshire Hospital.
Oh. Well, you're a very good advertisement for Southern California or even Oregon. Beverly, do you have a steady boyfriend?
Well, I've gone steady with several boys.
You go with 7 boys at
no,
the same
several.
time? Several boys?
At different times.
Oh, you mean
Yes.
different times of the day?
No, well, sometimes.
Yeah. You must be pretty busy. Well, tell us about one of them, anyhow.
Well, it was one, this is kind of interesting. He was in the Philippines, Philippine Islands.
And you were going steady with him, and he's 7,000 miles away?
Yes, but he told me to date other fellas, so I did.
Suppose he asked you not to go out with other fellas, what would you have done?
Well, I guess I wouldn't have, but he was 7,000 miles away, and I was here, and I don't think he would have found out anyhow.
John, I've read about you for years, and I've known about you for years, and I've always wanted to meet you now. How many home runs did you hit last year?
Well, Groucho, I'm not a ball player.
How do you know you're not? Have you ever tried?
Yes, I have, and didn't do so well.
Well, keep practicing. You'll get the hang of it. Now, how did you get interested in singing, Charlie? You don't mind if I get familiar and call you Charlie. Huh?
Quite all right.
I may be calling you Jock before we're through. You know? Couldn't you find an honest job? Why did you take up singing as a career?
Well, I wanted to be a surgeon. First of all.
Surgeon?
A surgeon.
Oh, I don't hear well. My glasses need adjusting. Now, where did you do your first public singing?
My first public performance for money.
In the bathroom. I don't mean in the bathroom.
No. I don't sing in the bathroom.
You've never sung in the bathroom? Wait a minute. I want you to meet Mr. Thomas and Miss Beverly Garland. This is the ambassador from Czechoslovakia. This is our new doctor. Would you mind slipping them each? No, just let go now.
This is a European custom before
It is,
we give them money.
Well, you just confine yourself to the American customs and give them each $50. This is rather a ceremony. The duck never walked over there and gave them the money.
Thank you.
Well, I certainly thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
You're in luck, Bev.
Would you hot that upstairs?
Goodbye, and I'll see you at the Drake Hotel.
What a job I got it.
Yes. Well, it's better than being out of work, isn't it?
It doesn't require brains just sitting there.
No, it just requires, but just don't lay any eggs up there. Now, back.
Come on, let's take over to
Arrivederci.
Wonderful.
Now, where did you do your first public singing?
I sang first. The first time I was paid for singing was in a moving picture theater in Frostburg, Maryland.
Oh.
Well, thank you. Someone's from home.
No, there's somebody there from Australia, and they've been applauding. They've been applauding all night. If I were to sing, even they would applaud. Now, did you always want to be a singer?
No, as I said a moment ago, I always wanted to be a surgeon.
Oh, a surgeon.
And I matriculated in the Mount Street School of Homeopathy in Baltimore.
Oh, well, I should think medicine and voice would go very well together. You could operate on a patient and then pick up another couple of bucks singing at the funeral. I've done a little singing myself, you know. On the road to Mandalay. See, they didn't applaud that time, did they? Are you still giving concerts, or have you put your tonsils out to pasture?
Well, I've kind of given up concerts for a while.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that.
I'm living in Apple Valley, California.
Oh.
Mrs. Thomas and I are very happy up there, and I'm managing director of our radio station, KAVR. Play a little golf when I get a chance. I have a wonderful choir of local people, which we call the Apple Valley Romanies. We rehearse weekly.
What did you think of my voice when I sang before? On the road to Mandalay, where the flying fishes play. How is it? What do you think of it?
I think, well, now, Groucho.
Now, you can speak freely. Of course, it'll influence the quiz, but go right ahead anyway.
Well, I think perhaps there's enough gravel in there to pave Mulholland Drive.
It's paved.
Yes. She says it's paved. She's been up there. Now, what else did you say you did up there in Apple Valley? You play golf every day? Are you good at golf?
There have been many complaints about my golf, especially from me lately.
Oh.
If we had time, I think I could better explain my golf
You golf?
to you
Well,
in song.
By singing? Well, we'd be delighted to have you sing.
You would?
Yes.
As a matter of fact...
Just a moment. I'm not sure that you can follow my singing on the road to Mandalay, but those are the chances you take.
Well, I'll try.
What kind of a song would you...
Well, a very dear friend of mine, Albert Hay Malott, who has written many great songs, he has written a song which he calls a self-portrait, and it's called Golfer's Lament.
Oh, it's a song about golf?
Song about golf.
Well,
I sang it up at the Grove with Jack Meakin, and if he's around, maybe he could give us a
Jack
little...
knows it? Well, Jack, you know this song from the Bohemian Grove? It used to be the Bohemian Girl, wasn't it?
Every month of the year, when it's stormy or clear, there's a place you can always find me. Very calm and serene, looking down at the green, while waiting my turn at the tee. I may never shoot par, for my shots don't go far, though I swing and I slug with great force. Still I play right along, doing everything wrong. You'll find me all over the course. Oh, the golf bug just bitten me good. I'm in love with a putter, an iron, and a wood. Such waste of time is a crime and a shame, but golf is a crazy, wonderful game. I've spent hours with a pro, feeling sure he would know how to give me some good, sound advice. But the lessons I took to get rid of a hook just gave me a terrible slice. I can't rotate my hip if I don't use the right grip. I suppose that I'm pressing too hard. By the time that I add all the strokes that I've had, I secretly tear up my card. Oh, the golf bug just bitten me good. I'm in love with a putter and iron and a wood. Such waste of time is a crime and a shame, but golf is a crazy, wonderful game. I've decided to play 18 holes every day. and perhaps now and then, maybe more. For until I'm too old or so tired that I fold, I'll try to improve on my score. If I figured the cost of the balls I had lost and equipment I bought at the shop, it would probably come to a sizable sum. But now it's too late. I can't stop. Oh, the gout bug has bitten me good. I'm in love with the butter and iron and the wood. Such waste of time is a crime and a shame. But golf is a crazy, wonderful game.
How do you feel about classical music, the kind Mr. Thomas sings, like Golfer's Lament?
Well, it's very nice, but I like songs like Teddy Bear and Honeycomb and All Shook Up.
All Shook Up is one of your favorites, eh? I have that record. As a matter of fact, I have all of Beethoven's works. Now, John Charles, how do you feel about rock and roll music? Is All Shook Up one of your favorites?
I'm afraid I don't know that song.
Well, Beverly, could you give us a few bars to show Mr. Thomas how it goes? Could you sing it?
Oh,
What?
well, oh, best of my
You want
soul,
music
well,
with it?
I don't think he knows it.
He doesn't know much of anything. You know All Shook Up?
You
Sure.
do?
Yeah, what key would you sing it in?
C or G? What's it written in?
Sing it in C and G.
Okay. Bless my soul, what's wrong with me? I'm itching like a man on a fuzzy tree. My friends say I'm acting queer as a bug. I'm in love. I'm all shook up. Oh, yeah. Oh, well, my hands are shaking and my knees are weak. I can't seem to stand on my own 2 feet. Who do you think when you have such sustenance love? I'm all shook up. Oh, yeah.
Well, what'd you think of it, John?
Groucho, I'm afraid she's disarmed me. I don't know, but I still think I prefer music.
Classical.
Good music.
Well, would you mind clarifying that, John? You don't
Well-
obviously you don't regard this as music. You regard the girl as music, but not the thing she was singing.
I don't know. I think that I like the old melodies of Beethoven and Brahms and Schubert and...
What about On the Road to Mandalay?
Very good, Holy Spirit.
On the road to Mandalay.
And some of our great composers in this country, Irving Berlin, John Alden, Carpenter, Kern,
Rogers.
Malott.
Well, how do you feel about this, Beverly?
Well,
You like classical music?
It's okay, but you can't jitterbug to Mozart.
Well, I'm glad of that.
And all the teenagers like it.
Yes, I know teenagers like it, but they also like watermelon, and if you eat too much of that, you can get a tummy ache, you know.
Yes, and also those seeds get in your teeth. Now, John, I think in fairness to both sides, you'd better tell us what is the actual difference between so-called good music and popular music.
Well, all good music, Groucho, is popular and has been popular for many years. I think the difference is that really good music has character, has solidarity, and has the great essence that is absolutely important. It has truth, which is lasting.
But you still can't jitterbug to it.
I think everything has its place, but this present-day jitterbug music seems to me to not have been written even in Tin Pan Alley. From the odor of it, I think most of it comes from the Chicago stockyards.
Oh. Well, I'm not going to take sides in this controversy. I respect your opinion, Mr. Thomas, but on the other hand, I have an 11-year-old daughter at home. And, John, you presented a very convincing case here, but I think you'll find there are many people who don't agree with you. How about you people out front? All those who don't agree with Mr. Thomas, stand up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, there's a very conspicuous one right here with a red hat. Would you mind stepping up here? Would you mind coming out? Take your hat off and come up here, huh? No, take your shoes off if you're going to do jitterbug, huh? John, you better run for your life. The audience is striking back. Now, Beverly, would you mind letting this lady use your microphone? Apparently, she's on your side of this battle. You can stand over there if you like, or... Now, wait a minute. I just remembered we haven't said anything about the new DeSoto. Perhaps you would mind if Mr. Fenneman said a few words about the new DeSoto?
Here are Mr. and Mrs. Paul Brinkman. You'll recognize Mrs. Brinkman as Jean Crane.
Hello.
Hi.
Have you seen our new car? It's a DeSoto Sportsman, and it's wonderful. Isn't it good looking?
And look at this new windshield. It not only wraps around, but back into the top. You can see a lot better. And it's low. Just look at all this room.
Yes, there's plenty of room. It's a big car, but it's amazingly easy to handle. You really can steer this car with one finger. Watch, I'll show you. See? With one finger.
That's because DeSoto has what they call constant control power steering.
And it's just wonderful for parking. It's so easy, I just didn't believe it the first time I tried it. And when we get all dressed up to go out, we're extra glad we have a DeSoto. It's so handsome. We're very proud of our DeSoto. You will be, too.
Hey, we didn't tell them about the new engine.
We must go, dear. Good night.
So long.
Who are you? This is Mr. Thomas, and your name is?
Roberta Renee, and I'm mad.
Roberta Renee, and you're mad? Is that your full name?
Yes, it is.
What is your reason for sticking up for rock and roll? You're not a teenager.
That doesn't make any difference whether I'm a teenager or not, Groucho. I think the world is changing. It has changed. It's going at a pretty fast pace. We've got to have the kind of music to go along with the trend we're living in. All this malarkey and jazz that they are putting out about bop, unspeakable jazz, unspeakable rock and roll, lewd, vulgar, what's it going to do to reckon the teenagers? That's absolutely malarkey. It is not so because we have got to have it.
In other words, you don't like... Well, do you buy rock and roll records?
Are you speaking to me?
Yes.
I most certainly do.
You do? Huh?
By the tons of them.
Well, whose records do you buy?
Elvis Presley's.
Well, why do you pick Mr. Presley's records as opposed to Tommy Sands or Perry Como or Eddie Fisher or some of the other singers?
Because Elvis has the know-how and the gimmick to put this stuff over the way it ought to be done. He is a great outlet and a release for every growing teenager today. I see nothing wrong with his music, and I think it's great. And I like him so well that I belong to an Elvis Presley fan club in San Diego, California.
You can't be a member of the Elvis Presley Club. Where is your sideburns?
Never mind, I'll carry them.
What's on your mind? How do you feel about this discussion that's taking place?
Well, I didn't come out here getting this. All I wanted to say that I'm sure that you have a lot of arguments, but we're running out of time here. And...
We are?
Well, Roberta, could you come back next week to discuss this further?
I most certainly will be here with bells on, Groucho.
Well, don't
and
wear
all
any
of
bells.
my rock and roll with me.
Oh, you're going to bring your records with you?
I certainly am.
Now, Mr. Thomas, how about you? I know it's a long trip back to the banana country up in Victorville, but could you come back next week?
Groucho, I'd crawl on my hands and knees all the way from Apple Valley over broken bottles to be here to defend good music.
Well, here it is, folks. Will John Charles Thomas wind up wearing sideburns and playing a hot guitar? Will this lady clobber America's beloved baritone with a Presley record? Roberta, would you like to take a chair off stage there and get together with Fenneman after the show about being on here next week?
I'd be delighted to.
All right, fine. George, will you escort Mrs. Presley off stage?
Yeah.
Oh! Okay, and be sure you... Now, John Charles, do you know how we play this game?
Yes, I do, Groucho, but I think I would prefer to let some serviceman come up and earn a little money for himself.
Oh, well... Is there a serviceman out there, a sailor or a soldier? Now, wait a minute. You're not with the gas company, are you? What is your name?
Ballard T. O'Neill.
Oh, well, I'd like you to meet Miss Adlin.
Hello.
Nice to meet you.
Your name is what?
Terry O'Neill.
Terry O'Neill. Well, sure, and that's a fine name, and I want you to meet Mr. Thomas.
It's a real pleasure.
Nice to see you.
This Beverly Adlin, your partner, but this is your partner. Now, try and help Beverly. It looks like Dennis Day, isn't it? Can you sing?
No, sir.
You don't sing on the road to Mandalay? Well,
Franklin.
and John, you're going to be here next week, too, huh?
I'd be
Now,
very
why don't
delighted.
you sit down here and watch them stumble through this category?
Thank you very much. Thank you.
John, nice to have seen you, and I'm looking forward to seeing you again. Terry.
Long Beach, California, Groucho.
And where are you stationed?
At Fort MacArthur, California.
What do you do? What is your job in the Army?
I'm at the Army Education Center.
Well, I think they've done a pretty good job with you.
Thank you,
Now, you selected American folk music. The orchestra will play the tune. You tell me the name of it. If you miss 2 in a row, you're out. If you get 4 in a row right, you win $1,000. Are you ready? Here we go. One answer between you. Remember your partners and put your tongue in. All right, tell me the name of this old favorite. Play, Jack.
Oh, bury me not on the lone prairie.
Well, I certainly wouldn't, not at your age, kid.
You have one right.
That's right. Bury me not on the lone prairie. Now, what is the name of this folk song? Music, Meekin.
Old MacDonald.
You don't have to kiss her. Just ask her what the answer is.
Well, you're halfway to your $1,000. 2 more right, and it's yours.
All right. Now, I know you've heard this before. Play it, Jack.
It's Irish, whatever it is.
No, it isn't.
It isn't?
It's the Arkansas Traveler.
Well, you have one wrong now. Don't get the next one wrong, or the game is over for you.
No, here's a favorite of barbershop quartets. Play it, Jack. The old Oaken Bugger.
You're back on the right track. 1 right now.
He'll decide in the morning, this guy. What is the name of this old song, Meekin? Ah, you have. He's been working on the railroad. Oh, the eyes of Texas are upon you.
2 right.
Tell me the name of this familiar song. Professor, play. Chord is close enough.
There, they have 3 right. They get the next one right, and they have $1,000.
All right. Now, what is this one? Hit it, Jack. That's right. She'll be coming around and around. This is the only time I ever wished I was in the Army. Well, you won $1,000. Now, you can keep it and quit, or else you can come back at the end of the show and try to double your money. You may even get a crack at $10,000. So go over there and sit down and think about it. And no matter what you decide to do, thanks for being on the show.
Thank you.
Now, in just 1 minute, we'll find out if our high school girl and the soldier will take a chance on winning $10,000.
I've always felt that the best way to handle money is to make sure you get your money's worth when you spend it. And here's one very good way to do that.
It's the new 58 DeSoto with the look and feel of the future. This is what we call the look of the future, the advanced styling of the new DeSoto. And when you drive it, you'll find out what we mean by the feel of the future. You'll like the way this car handles, and you'll feel safer and more comfortable in the new DeSoto than in any car you've ever driven. The 58 DeSoto has a newly designed engine. It's greatly advanced, quieter, with less vibration, and it's designed for more economy, longer life, and greater dependability. And the 58 DeSoto has the ride of the future, thanks to improved torsion air ride. Well, those are some of the reasons why the 58 DeSoto is an outstanding car, an outstanding value. You're going to be surprised because you can get a new DeSoto for a lot less money than you think. Prices start just above the lowest.
So get your money's worth when you buy a car. Compare DeSoto with all the other cars on the market. Drive it, price it, and you'll see why we say DeSoto, the look and feel of the future.
Beverly Adlam and Terry O'Neill, would you come back out, please?
You won $1,000 so far. If you decide to try for the $10,000 and you fail, you wind up with a total of $500. What are you going to do?
Well, I'm not going to try.
You're going to quit. You're going to take your $500 and drop out. Is that right?
Yes.
And what are you going to do,
I'm
soldier?
going to try.
You're going to try, huh?
Goodbye and goodbye. Thank
Right,
you very
thank
much.
You know, she reminds me of Debbie Reynolds. Doesn't she? Doesn't she remind you of Debbie Reynolds? You remind me of Debbie Reynolds, too. In fact, almost everybody does. Now you're going to spin this wheel. If any number besides the one you pick comes up, the question is worth $1,000. Since you're half of a team, if your number comes up, the question is worth $5,000. Now, what is the number you've chosen?
3.
Now, give it a spin. Your number was, you took 3 and it came out 8, so this question is worth $1,000. You ready? The world's first atomic pile was located under the stadium of a great university. For $1,000, what university was it where this important step in nuclear research was made? Think about it.
Illinois.
All right, take a guess.
Illinois?
No, you're close. It was the University of Chicago. Chicago University. I'm sorry you missed it, but you wind up with $250,
Thank you
which is
very
about
much.
2 years' salary in the Army, isn't it? So congratulations and thanks for being with us.
Thank you.
Here's a word to the wise on Christmas shopping from Papermate.
Shopping late?
Give Papermate.
Now, all Papermate pens have amazing flogen that ends ink clogging. Writes on hard-to-write surfaces like checks, photos, even glass. So give the Papermate Piggyback Capri only $1.95 in a free gift box.
Give a Papermate, they'll say it's great when they write with a Papermate pen. Shopping late? Give Papermate. Shopping late? Give Papermate.
That's right. If you're shopping late, give Papermate. Tonight, You Bet Your Life has been brought to you by the DeSoto Plymouth Dealers of America.
Friends, go in and see a DeSoto Plymouth dealer tomorrow. And when you do, tell them Groucho sent you.
This is George Fenneman inviting you to join us next week for Groucho Marx in You Bet Your Life. And to listen to Groucho on radio every Monday night. And here's a reminder from the National Safety Council. Pace yourself by the traffic around you. Don't race, don't lag, don't ride the bumper of the car ahead. Next week, You Bet Your Life will be brought to you by the makers of Prom Home Permanent.